Hello, let's test our audio.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, 1 second.
Oh, is it Iwa? Iwa?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay,
it's Eva. It's okay, but that's okay.
Ava.
Eva,
Oh,
yeah, I'm Polish.
okay.
Um,
Oh, I love that. Okay.
yeah.
So
You
yeah,
know
I
what?
opened it. Hello.
It's okay. I'm just gonna.
Please. That's
Oh
okay.
yeah, it's just too bright here.
That's all
Okay, there you
right.
go. That's better. Hey.
So it is. So welcome. How much do you know about Microsoft Teams? Because I'm a Zoom user.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I know something, but what would you need to do?
I just want to put you on that if I get disconnected, it's going to be my fault, not yours. And I just need you to
Okay.
connect back. So,
Okay.
all
Okay.
right.
Sounds good. We will.
So
We will.
you're
I guess.
so you're in the MACP program.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
It is, yeah. So anyway,
Yes, yes, yes.
welcome. Thanks for
Yes,
dropping by.
yes, thank you. Yeah.
I'm always early, so it's
Yeah, I know.
15 minutes to ourselves. Do
For
you
sure
want to,
it is. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
before anybody else joins? We can do
Sure,
that.
yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. I mean, is it your first time running those? This is my first time joining.
Oh, okay. Yes. This is my first time doing this for Yorkville University,
Okay.
Ava, but
Hmm.
I am also the president of the private practice chapter from the CCPA. So
Okay.
we run monthlies, and
Okay.
we get anywhere between 60 and 20 people.
Wow. Okay.
So
Okay.
and they're a similar theme. They're not really supervision, they're not really therapy, they're more sharing and interest. Having
Okay.
having having said that, if the question is therapeutic in nature, we address it, and if the question is supervision in nature, we answer it, but we do it outside of therapy, if you get my
Okay.
idea. Yeah,
I see. I see.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
So,
here to answer any question that you have,
well,
anything
you
that's
know what?
curious.
You know what? I don't really have any questions. I didn't come prepared with any specific questions. Um, I'm here to sort of more out of curiosity of what it's all about.
Okay,
Um, yeah, yeah,
so
I don't
yeah,
know. I've
okay,
seen
well,
those posted last year, and it was too early in my program, so here I am. I have
okay.
2 more courses before practicum, so I figured this
Oh,
was the perfect timing. Yeah.
2 more courses before practicum. Have
Huh.
okay, yeah. So have you managed to, are you looking actively for a practicum, or have you found one,
I
or,
already I already found one. Yes, I already found one.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me why you chose, and it's okay to say it was the
Yeah.
first one that was offered and I took it because it's competitive, or did you search out a specific what were the circumstances?
Oh, you know what? There are so many factors to consider, to be honest, when
Mhm,
it comes to looking for practicum. You
mhm,
know, I don't know where you are specifically, but I'm on the Pacific Coast in British Columbia.
mhm.
So there's a variety of places where I could, you know, have a practicum placement. Um, I already work for federal government, so I didn't really want to, uh, you know, choose another practicum in any like government agency.
Mhm.
Like I was not interested in any like hospitals or non-profit organizations run by provincial government or
Hmm.
like yeah, like other provincial or federal agencies. I also wasn't interested. After I complete my the MACP program, I won't be leaving my current position. I'm planning to just do some private practice on the side.
Okay.
So I chose a practicum at another private practice.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. It's beautiful
yeah.
out there in BC. Yeah, I'm in Alberta, but I also practice in Ontario.
Okay,
I have two.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I'm guessing you provide online, right? Virtual sessions.
Virtual and in person.
Oh, okay, so you travel.
No, I have two offices. So when I'm in
Oh, I see. Okay.
Alberta, they come here, but I find 80% of my clients prefer virtual.
Okay, interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Made it very interesting because I'm very responsive to my clients as opposed to setting up a private
Mhm.
practice. I kind of let my clients guide me, and I just
Okay.
made how do you say? Mm, I kind of went. I noticed what they wanted, and
Okay.
that's what I set up.
Okay.
It could have gone the other way.
Hmm.
A lot of clients might have preferred in the office, but I find I was quite surprised
Okay.
that they wanted.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Mhm.
talk a little bit business here. I didn't take on the overhead, Ava.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. I have a couple of friends who are also in private practice, and they kind of have seen a shift recently where clients again want to meet in person. you
Okay.
know yeah, that there was a period of time, and I guess maybe also depends what kind of demographic. Younger people prefer
Yeah.
to be online, or especially to start with online sessions.
Mm.
um yeah, but that's what they say, that I guess due to COVID everybody switched to online, and everybody wanted online,
Yeah.
and now they kind of want to go back to the office.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And I have a specialization as well, which put me into private practice almost
Okay.
immediately. Yeah.
Okay. What
Because
is
where I was doing my practicum was perfect in absolutely every way.
okay.
But a lot of my techniques were not something that she was prepared to, how do you say, um, work with.
Okay.
Because, yeah. So what's your
So
specialization? Go ahead.
what do you specialize in? I understand, I read your bio just briefly. I know that you provide EMDR and
Mhm.
hypnotherapy. Is
Yeah.
that correct? So this is something that, so what is it that your practical placement was not willing to accommodate? Which one of those?
Oh, um, the reason I went with my original
Uh-huh.
practicum and it was perfect. It fit me like hand in glove. Um, that particular practice and that particular therapist was highly recommended for neurodivergence, ADHD,
Okay.
ASD, and high anxiety levels, CPTSD, and trauma through the lens of neurodiversity. So
Okay. Okay.
she did not have a lot of hypnotherapy background, and she did not have a lot of EMDR background, and she
Okay.
didn't have those particular credentials. So I had to go somewhere else for that.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, I have two supervisors. One that is very well versed in neurodiversity, and have another one that's more psychoanalytical. Because
Okay.
the neo-psychodynamic lens
Yeah.
reads well to the hypnotherapy and the EMDR.
Okay.
Yeah, and my clients, 18 years and plus,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I think that probably, as you observed and you mentioned, had a lot to do with um, a, remote, whatever.
Yeah.
Before
I,
I did,
yeah.
before
Yeah.
masters, I was a master hypnotist way back in the early 70s.
Okay. That's so cool. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And tell me, please, where did you complete, like, extra courses on like neurodivergence and like ADHD approach and autism and things like that. Did you?
That's
Oh, did you?
Oh boy, did I. Am I?
Yeah.
Yes. That's my
You did.
focus at
Yeah.
Yorkville University. My
Okay.
AFP project, or my final thesis, as they call it, is very specifically on educating therapists in neurodiversity.
Okay.
That I'd like
Okay.
to see it. I'd like to see it at an institutional level, so they don't have to go out and scrounge and graze like I did.
Mhm.
I did an understudy with a couple of very brilliant supervisors. One was my
Mhm.
practicum. And oh gosh, I come at it from a very analytical assessment perspective. So I took a lot
Okay.
of third-party training from the US, from the various platform providers that create and authored the assessments and tests
Okay.
in autism and neurodiversities, right?
Okay. Okay.
And it's all had to been I've had to do it all on my own. I've had to sort of graze through the whole environment. I haven't been able to find any courses that are more than, the rudimentary 4-hour course that gives you 1 CE credit, or there's like a course
Yeah.
that'll CE credits, and I find them not too helpful. So I ended up finding a lot of my education from the US, from these platform providers, because they do the
Okay.
assessment, yeah, and the rest is all self-study and research. And
Okay. Yeah.
plus I'm on the spectrum myself, so but we're all so different, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I also have ADHD, so I am very much interested in neurodiversity as well. But I have another question for you. Since you practice in Alberta, so you are technically a psychologist registered under, yes,
No,
as a
man,
psychologist?
no.
No.
And
Okay.
but that is a very brilliant question, and it's very politically loaded. For example,
Tell
I
me.
am a member and I support ACTA.
Okay.
I am a CCC, which is a Canadian Certified Counselor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I am also um, registered psychotherapist qualifying in Ontario. And I just wrote the test, so I'm just waiting now. I postponed it for as long as I can. So I actually hold credentials wherever I can.
Okay.
So we're not regulated formally yet here in Alberta, but I understand in BC it's passed
Yes.
Parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
And
heard. Yeah.
yeah. So Alberta's not quite that far yet. Alberta has not really passed it in Parliament, and it's very politically charged here. So we really don't know if we're all going. You see, the government said they want the Alberta Association of Psychologists to run the show, but they wanted all this money to reinvent the wheel, and the government said, well, wait a minute, ACTA's already got it all up and running, and it looks an awful lot like the existing model with the CCPA in Ontario. What do you need all the money for? And so there's this big political thing going on.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I anticipate it's probably going to be another year or two. I don't think they're anywhere close. I think it
Okay.
died in that process.
Okay.
It kind of died, right? Whereas BC
Okay.
is going ahead, and it all seems to be cohesive, and there's coherency in there. Yeah.
Okay. So what was your motivation for registering in Ontario? Is it this that you have clients? Oh, somebody's
Good.
here.
Oh, yeah, we're going to introduce Hillary. What was my motivation? It was a business motivation, plus I have a lot of presence there as well. I grew up in Toronto.
Okay.
Hello,
I
Hillary.
see.
How are
Hi,
you?
Hillary. Hi.
Hey there.
Hi. Do you two
Hi.
know? Do you two know each other? Oh, here's
No.
okay. So
Somebody else here.
I've
yeah.
never been to one before.
Okay. Okay. Well, let give Christine a moment to stay online.
Yeah.
Eva and
I
I
just
were in conversation that 5 o'clock had come on.
yeah. We just logged in earlier and we're chatting
Yeah.
about all sorts of things.
That's right.
Hi,
Hi.
Hello,
Hi, Chris.
hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We'll just give it a few minutes. We'll sit here and smile at each other, and then we'll just quickly
Okay.
introduce ourselves.
Okay.
So, Ava joined early, so Ava and I have been chatting for about 10 minutes or so. We forgot actually until you both. Oh, here comes somebody
Yeah,
else.
there you
Oh,
go.
look how this name is spelled. This is so cool, Catherine, but not the way I've ever seen it before.
Uh-huh.
I'm learning all kinds of new things tonight. Hi, Catherine. It is.
Hi.
Hi. You can turn your audio on. There's only 5 of us
Hello.
here.
Hi.
Okay, so let's give it one more minute and then we'll do some quick intros. And while we're waiting for one more person, I'm just going to let you all know that I have a client coming on at 6. I may reduce you guys in the corner if there's a big heavy conversation going on, but I'm going to separate the two meetings because the other person's coming in on Zoom. But I don't want you to think I'm rude, just sort of dropping off at 6 o'clock. So we'll go in there. Okay. All right. So let's do some quick intros. I'm just going to make the assumption. My name's Linda Storm. You can ask me any question at all tonight about my background, what I'm doing. It'll be a review for Ava. She's been talking with me here for a while. I have my own little website if you want to learn more about me. I specialize in neurodivergent adults, 18 years and plus. I come from a very neo-psychodynamic. That's not how I started out, but that's sort of where I am right now. And I reserve the right to change as new information comes in any moment as part of self-development. But currently, that's what I'm doing. And I practice hypnotherapy and I also do EMDR on top of the neo-psychodynamic layer. So it's very, a lot of people would describe me as integrative, but it's not really integrative as much as it is pluralistic. And what I mean by that is I was explaining earlier, I haven't always been a therapist. I used to work the dark side. I have 35 years with IBM, working with AI in communications. And yeah, I was a hardcore techie. And I've been doing hypnotherapy as part of my communication studies since the 70s. But I did it. And what I meant by the dark side was I understand communication and human thought, subliminals, damage control, and developing AI models and things of that nature. But now what I've done is a shift since I too am a graduate from Yorkville University. I did my MACP there and now I'm doing my doctorate, but my doctorate is focused on neurodivergent adults because that's who I worked with for most of my life when I was at IBM. So that's my background. And that's why they call me pluralistic. Okay. So, who would like to go next, or shall I put us in alphabetical order?
Okay, I'll go next, I guess.
You go next.
Hi guys, I'm Eva. I'm joining you today from Abbotsford, BC. I am 2 courses away from starting my practicum. Yeah, and otherwise I've been sort of in the field working for a number of years. I've been working with incarcerated women for the last, I don't know, 12, 13 years. I currently work as a member of a DBT clinical team in a federal institution in Abbotsford. Okay.
Thank you, Ava.
Thank you.
And who was next in? Hillary.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I am, I guess, my first semester with the MACP. Scheduled to start practicum in May. I haven't been to one of these before, so I wanted to show up and see what was happening here. I'm a career changer. I have been home with my children for the last 10 years. And now that my kids are all in school, I am starting a new career. So here I am.
Wow.
Hmm.
I love the career changing part. That's it. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to remember now. Christine, you're
Hi,
on. Hi.
I am Christine. This is my first term at Yorkville. So I'm just taking my first course. I'm just here to observe. And so I was born in South Korea. My family moved to New Zealand when I was a teenager. And then I moved to Canada recently. So this is my third move. I'm also finishing my second degree at the University of Victoria in psychology. And also I'm doing this one at the same time. So it's nice to meet you guys.
Nice. Very ambitious indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Catherine, she stepped up for just a moment. Okay, so let's go to, is it Irina?
Yes, yeah, that's Arena. Hi, yeah. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I completed my theoretical part at the Yorkville MACP in August, and I've been looking for practicum ever since, and I couldn't secure it for September start date, and now I'm hoping to get something for January, but I still didn't secure it. So that's one of the burning things that I really want to tackle at this point. As far as for my background, I was born and raised in Ukraine, but then I moved to Croatia and obtained Bachelor of Theology degrees there and Master of Arts in Counseling. But it was quite a long time ago, and I didn't have a chance to practice. So I felt very like not confident when I moved to Canada to work in that field because it's long ago, and also I didn't have any practice. So I decided I will take social work. So I completed social work degree, bachelor's in Canada. And then I decided just 2 years ago, I want to follow my dreams. So I found something online, which is Yorkville MSCP. And so I'm here now. And I've been working for a little more than 10 years with Government of Manitoba as employment counselor.
Okay.
Prior to that, I worked with Native Women's at the Native Women's Transition Center with the women who were in contact with the law, justice, and also addictions treatment.
Wow.
And yeah, I worked a little bit with foster homes prior to that as I was doing my social work degree. So yeah.
Okay. So you're bringing something to it, but you haven't been able to land that practicum one yet.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about that a little later. It's in there. Catherine, you're back. How are you?
Yep.
Yes, it's your turn to introduce yourself. Or were you gone when we decided that?
I think so. I think
Okay.
I had to go upstairs. So my name is Catherine. I am joining you from the Okanagan in BC. I have gravitated in this field for the last 20 years. I'm originally from Quebec. I have a BSc in psychoeducation, which to the Anglophone world doesn't mean a ton. It's been a big journey to find employment in my field because in Quebec, psychoeducators have to have the master's degree. I was in the second cohort after they changed that, but they were like, yeah, don't worry about it. But I was really burnt out after school and all that. So been this has been my path for that has been traced for me over 20 years, basically.
All right, good. So it
Um,
seems like you're what I call the lifelong learner. You're just going to keep moving ahead regardless. Yeah.
Yep. And having a place, I've had personal experiences of therapy as well along the way and whatnot. And I'm like, this is really what I want to do. That's, yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Looking
Okay.
at starting my practicum in May, and yeah, here
See where
to,
it goes.
because I'm curious.
All right. And last but not least, Namarta. Oh, we got another one coming in. Give us a little overhead or a little overview. Yeah.
We cannot
you're
hear you.
muted.
I'm so sorry. My name is Namrata, and I'm basically from India, born and raised there. I came here in 2019. Actually, I'm a single parent. I came here 2019, got separated like 2023. I have a son, 5 years old, and then I got decided to take admission in this course. This is totally like different for me because I wanted to be independent and I want to do something so I can give like a right path to my son, and I want to do something, so that's why I joined this. Now it's about to finish. In Jan I'm going to start my practicum, and I'm living here in Mississauga. I think this is enough.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. It sounds like you've gone through quite a journey. And we just
Yeah.
had more person join us. Helen. Helen, a minute or two introduction, and then we'll get deep into what we really came here for.
Yeah, sorry, let's probably just, can you hear me well?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Just give me one moment. I'll just like, because I didn't expect using the camera. My name is Helen Taraskin. I'm a first-year student at Master of Arts and Clinical Psychology. And I'm originally from Russia. I've been living in Canada for about 12 years now. I'm also a mother. I have a son who is 8 years old, turning 9 next month. And yes, so I'm very interested in psychology and looking for career in the mental health field.
All right. Okay. All right. So thank you, everyone. We have a lovely crowd here tonight. So there is, and I use the term crowd. Let's do something fun because we have a whole bunch of interests on the table here. We've got some people who are what I call first year. We have people who are on their way to practicum. That's sort of what I'm hearing. Okay. So I was just wondering if we, rather than listen to me all night, because we have a lot of brains in the room here. That's another theme that I heard here. Okay. So I was just wondering if we could, if you all go for it, let me know. Those of you that are on your way to practicum and those of you that have significant experience, and you can volunteer to do this. If you had one message for the first year up and coming students for MACP, what would you tell them?
I will go.
Silence. Go ahead.
Okay.
So this is the message to the first year up and coming students or the mid-year ones. Okay.
So what has been invaluable to me is connection with other students. Like absolutely hands down, get involved in like a WhatsApp group or something online. It has been probably more valuable than any interaction with professors. It has taught me so much. And just that collaboration between students. I can't even imagine doing this program without that. So, yeah.
Thank you, Hillary. There's, and I'm going to make a shameless plug right now. You all know that I'm very heavily involved in the CCPA, which is the Canadian Counseling Psychotherapy Association, which is Canada-wide, right? And you're all, some are from East, some are Manitobans, or some are from BC, which is headed for regulation. Did you know that we have fairly inexpensive membership for students for the exact reason Hillary just mentioned? And if any of you are interested eventually, second shameless plug, for the private practice group, you can join us. And that's exactly what we do, is we sit around the table every third Wednesday, and you can ask any question of a seasoned practitioner that you want, or anyone in the group. And we have mentors in each room, and we create rooms of 5 people. Here's the best part. You get 1 CE for every time you visit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of people go, oh, well, that's it. And I go, yeah. So we do the CEs that are there. So anyway, that's something you can take a look at. And they all have other circle of interests as well. They have Indigenous groups, and they also have, who was it that's looking for a practicum? They have, there you go, Arena. And they have a supervisory group where you can post a request for a supervisor and a practicum placement.
Oh.
Placement also, or just a supervisor? Because some placements said, yes,
Placement.
we have placement as well.
You can say
Because I've
very
been there and I
specifically,
didn't see.
you're looking for a placement, right? Be very specific, because the two are very mutually inclusive. The very people that take practicum students in are the incoming supervisors or experienced supervisors.
Okay. Yeah, because I do have the registration with CCPA, with CCPA, yes, as a student. And I went on their website and I saw that, but I thought that it's only for supervisors that they have, like whomever wants to be a supervisor, just post there. I
Feel
didn't
free
know.
to post one in the private practice group too. If you're interested in private practice, say, hey,
Yeah,
this is me, I'm coming
thank you.
in. Yeah.
Thank you.
Here's another practicum. It's all about networking. Is on this program we're running with the DCPs. This is part of the launching us as doctoral students to consider going into supervision or going into supervision. There's a lot of people in the program that I'm in right now that are already own clinics that are doing, and they're listed in that information brochure that Yorkville sent you. You could drop into the classes and tell them there that you're looking for a practicum position. So I'm just saying this because these are the people that take on the practicum students. So there's a couple of ins for you there if you're still looking as well. And I took note of, I think Hillary and yourself, Arena. I got little notes by your name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Because it should be a choice. It shouldn't be try to find something at the last minute, and it has to do with networking. So those are 2 areas that are very hot for that kind of thing that people don't think to look. Yeah.
Linda, if I could ask you a question there. So how do we access, you said student membership. I just brought up the website there. What am I looking for joining these roundtable? I have a practicum, but I am interested in just general discussion.
Oh, okay. You're BC bound, aren't you, Hillary? Or BC?
I'm in Newfoundland, actually.
Oh, Newfoundland. You're in Newfoundland.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say the Alberta chapter is very active. My chapter, the private practice chapter, is very active. I'm going to post you a link to get a handle on the doodle thing. And of course, all of these sharings as well. So I'm going to post a doodle. Yeah, it's a doodle. And on this doodle, all you have to do is register And if you are a CCPA member, I can find you and and that's how I do the CEs for you every month.
Oh.
That's a glorious job. That's my glorious.
May I just interrupt here and ask you about the CEs? How do I ask
Big-
about the CEs that I supposedly was supposed to get because I took several trainings and I don't see it on my profile. Like I took the CFBT with
Okay.
what's it?
Have you got a copy of the little certificate,
Yeah,
Irina?
yeah.
Okay.
Every time I take it, I get the
Send,
certificate.
oh, okay. I'm going to tell you who to send your certificate to. Oh, have you got you can fill out the form yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's an awful form. Have you filled the form out already?
For the CE?
For the CECs?
No, I haven't
Okay.
filled that.
There is a form and you can fill it out yourself and send it right to the CEC at whatever it is. It has it on there. But that, yeah, so I'm just going to go to the CCPA meeting minutes, bylaws, CCPA insurance, 1494. Pulse. Actually, oh, wait a minute. Pulse.
Linda, are you posting those links in the chat?
I am.
Because right now for me it says chat isn't available. In channel meetings, only members of the team have access to the chat.
No way. Oh, that
I'm
is
seeing the same.
same thing here.
Yes.
You know what I can do? What would be an easier way to do this?
Create a chat with all of us on Teams. Like,
Oh, yeah.
mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to draw. Okay, because that's the only way I have to put this in here too. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something that's answer this question. If you're going to become a psychotherapist in Ontario, the answer to this question is no, you don't share your email address with clients. But I'm going to give you my email address because we're all in Yorkville anyway, right? So you're looking at linda.storm@yorkvilleu.ca. And if you send me an email, I will attach the Doodle invite because it doesn't cost anything, and I will upload the CEC form.
I'm right now at the CC and it asks me like activities. It says filter activities by collection period and then 0 activities and there is no place to.
Yeah, I would, when you
Okay.
email this back to them, just email them your course, right? The course.
Yeah, the
CECs.
certificate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I've done some worth 20 and 30. It does take them a while. And I can't imagine how many they get per month. But yeah, that will be my commitment to you to do that. So yeah. So all of these things are what I call background tasks, which are very, very important. There's the coursework, and then there is all of this work that you have to do to bring yourself to that practicum or that professional level. And that's exactly what these sessions here are for, right? So to be that curiosity and to figure out, all this additional stuff, right? That has to do with business. That's in there. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything that we can iron out? Boy, you sure opened a good topic there, Hillary. Okay, so question is, does anyone coming in who's just beginning the program have any questions of anybody who's been almost through the entire thing from one of us. And you know what? This is a safe place, even though it's being recorded. I'm just going to remind you of that. You should be able to ask any question here. It's okay.
I have something.
Go.
You can hear me? Yeah. I just have my biggest concern is not being able to find the practicum.
Mhm.
So I was wondering, like you said, that the networking is very important. If there are other things that I can do just to increase the chances of being able to find one.
Mm-hmm. A few things come to my mind, but let's hear what the people that were successful in landing practicums. What was it? What happened? What was it that landed your practicum? Oh, perfect, Eva.
Yeah, okay. So I will give you one advice. I've heard from other Yorkville students to wait and not apply for practicum too early, and actually found it to be incorrect information. I actually found out that many practicum placements only start at certain time, like, I'm here in BC, in Abbotsford. So many places here only take practicum students once a year, usually in September. So it's actually a good idea to start like a year prior. Start reaching out. You can actually go to Yorkville website under practicum, and you will be able to select your province, and it will show you all the places that have previously had practicum students from Yorkville. And it's a good idea to reach out to all of them. They are actually all very responsive, and they reply to you really quickly with lots of information, to really find out who is taking students and when.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is very, very important, Ava. And I'd like to add something to that as well. Is Ava, you're absolutely right. Find out when certain environments, like for example, the larger environments, if you're destined for more of a large clinic environment or a health organization environment, they do only take in students once, maybe twice. But when you get to the private clinics, then there's that medium private clinic, right? The medium-sized one. They will offer practicum only 2 or 3 times a year. And I'll tell you why, because it's a business. Behind all of this that's happening, there is a business flow, and they want to make offers to practicum students in what I call a just-in-time scenario, and they may ask you for a $25 or a $50 fee to submit. And those are the ones that will be fairly responsive because they don't want to flood. They want them to be directed. The reason they're asking for that fee up front is because they get hundreds, if not thousands, right? Because they have a reputation for taking in practicum students. And here's the business behind the business that you should be aware of, which may help you when you do get in front of somebody. Respect the fact that an average billable rate is anywhere between $170 and $250 per therapy hour, correct? They have huge, massive overhead. They have their rent, they have their insurances, they have staff. There's a big engine behind all of this. It's not unusual for them to offer you like a $60 or $70 per hour while you're in your first phase of practicum. And then it may increase after that, and then it may increase after that. All they're trying to do is recoup their expenses. So don't, those things are normal. A lot of people I talk to are like, there's no way I'm working for $60 an hour. And I'm like, wait a minute now. They're carrying the other half of the insurance. They're carrying the cost of the clinic. They're carrying the cost of your supervision. They are carrying the cost of bringing the clients into you. Where it gets a little bit messy is if you go with a smaller private practice and you get on right away, they will patiently not feed you a full schedule of clients. So you have to build your own client list, which is another challenge. But if you're really good at what you do, that client list comes very, very fast. So that's not unusual either. And that is acceptable. Okay. So you might start out with only a few hours per week because they're going to ask you to track your practicum hours and you're going to say, oh, I'm behind in the first month. But by the time you get to the third month, it's like, okay, I'm past brain fog. I'm reaching into burnout. I have to cut back. I know I'm going to get my practicum hours. So don't be surprised if it works that way, because there is this whole reality behind the reality of facing that practicum. Yeah.
If I can ask,
Go ahead.
if I can ask something and just get a little clearer picture. I've been applying for practicum since January of last year, and I've had many interviews. And after every interview, I learned something new. Some practicums asking about $4,000 to pay for everything, including supervision, including their online, because it's like a virtual placement and all kinds of things. Another practicum saying you need to find your own supervisor, we provide clients, we do everything. Yet another saying you have to generate 7 clients of your own. Are you ready to do that? And then another one is just a lot of different things. And this is not something that I knew before I started applying, that it is so different. Each place is different.
It is. It's how
Wow.
they to run their business. I'm sorry, who was going to chime in?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm actually very surprised. I was gonna ask you, Irina, if you tried to find a virtual practicum, like maybe even from a different province. For example, I have a friend who lives in BC, but she completed her practicum virtually through a counseling office that is located in Ontario.
Oh yes, that's my kind of most preferred
Okay.
practicum, because I'm full-time employed and I would like to have a virtual practicum. And I had few interviews for fully virtual. Just
Okay.
last week I had one, and for some reason just they say not selected. When I asked for feedback, they said we'd not provide individual feedback for interview. So that was fully like fully virtual practicum. So yeah, I would love to have virtual practicum opportunity, even though I approach clinics here in Winnipeg, but many of them are already booked till 2026. They have already everything. So
Yeah. So how do you feel about the virtual practicum? Is that
I like it. I like it. I got used to now after COVID. Lots of work is done online, and my work. I'm working as a employment counselor, so a lot of counseling and stuff was online. So I feel very kind of like I like it. Yeah,
that's lovely. I love the way you presented the stories. That one where they said $4,000 covers everything felt wrong to me. like my body actually responded to that in a very negative way. Um, the one that you said they will work with you, but they wanted you to have a separate supervisor. My hypothesis is they didn't have a supervisory license, but they had clients. So that would have been not bad. But the other ones where they were going to ask you to have your own clients, that was more my experience. I took on, and at first I thought it was a risk, but it wasn't. It was virtual. It was in Ontario because there was a distance aspect to it. I was far away from, but I wanted her because she had that expertise that I wanted in neurodiversity. And it did build. I was her first practicum student ever, right? And it became a beautiful relationship. She's actually 1 year ahead of me now in the DCP program. So, and it was really funny because one of the professors said, your area of expertise is neurodiversity, ADHD and ASD. And I go, yeah. Do I have permission to give your name to another student who is doing the same thing? And absolutely. And then she put us together and we just had a huge laugh because she put me with my first practicum supervisor. So the imprint is, so some, it makes me feel bad to think that somebody has a practicum that is kind of my last ditch attempt. I'm going to get the hours and then I'm going to rebuild, right? It's so much more beautiful when you take your time and you get the right practicum. So you come out with exactly what it is that you were wanting to get from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, I have a suggestion here, Irina. If you can maybe look up, it's called Moving Forward. It's a non-profit counseling services in BC, in Surrey, BC, and they only provide virtual sessions. A friend of mine is starting her practicum there in January, and I know it's very easy to get a placement there.
Okay. Oh, thank
Moving
you so
forward.
much. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
send them my resume and everything tonight. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I would like to just, if you don't mind,
Absolutely.
I know there are especially students just starting in the program, and I would just like to say from what I have gathered in other groups, and talking to other students, when you mentioned being paid like a nominal fee during practicum, I'm finding that to be very rare. Most of the students that I'm hearing are working for free, and they would be quite pleased to just receive free supervision in exchange for that. But what I am seeing is places that are, when they're not offering supervision, the going rate is between $4,000 and $5,000 people are paying. So I'm seeing that's not unusual. Unfortunately, it feels awful, but unfortunately, I don't think that's unusual.
Sorry, so the students are paying? I don't get it.
Yes. So if, say, for instance, there are some practicum places, like some that will offer supervision, and then others will say, no, but you can work here. We may or may not have clients for you, but you need to find your own supervision at your own cost. So not only are you volunteering for the entire 8 months,
makes no sense.
in addition to that, you're also paying for supervision. From what I saw when I was applying, I started my applications in July, as well as from speaking to other students, that's not unusual, unfortunately. So that's really challenging.
It is very challenging, yeah. Well, from what I understand is, as practicum students, we actually are not allowed to be paid for our services. The counseling, place that provides you with practicum can collect money for the sessions because they are at low cost, or I think they call it low cost counseling, right? And and so I know that some places Like for example, in BC, what they do is when they can find clients who are able to pay the low cost, which is like $60 per session, then the supervision is free. However, if you are to provide completely free sessions within the practice, then you have to pay for supervision, because then I guess they don't generate any money. But there's lots of places where you don't have to pay at all. Nothing, zero.
I will also say that apparently that was right, that Yorkville does not allow students to be paid. However, that has recently changed, and now it is an option, but there is a special form to fill out for that. So
wow. Okay.
yes.
In what circumstances can we be paid for? Do you know what changed?
I didn't. It's in the practicum manual. Offhand, I can't say.
Okay, sounds good. I'll look into this. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So there are lots of options. Yeah.
Yeah, there are, and it's not unusual for them to be different. You have to find what feels good to you, right?
Yeah, and it really depends. Many of us have full-time jobs, so you have to consider, what days, what time are you available to do your practicum, right? Lots of private practices are open until 8 and 9 o'clock. You can do it in the evening. Lots of government agencies are only open 8 to 4, Monday to Friday. So, depends, really depends what works for you and your schedule.
Yeah. So the unpaid practicum standard, not the law, does allow for student not to receive official wages, but can receive honorariums and stipends. But you must carry liability insurance.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it shouldn't really, but that's a very interesting problem. It's almost existential in nature when somebody says, not receiving feedback after an interview. Do you want to work for a place like that?
Yeah, I was surprised. And this was actually my second interview with that same agency. One I had in March. Just as soon as I applied, they called me for an interview, and they said we had too many students and just did not select me. And then now recently I applied again, and they called me again. And then they just 10 minutes after interview, I got an email saying you are not selected. And then I immediately sent them an email. Do you mind giving me feedback as I'm preparing for next time? And they responded like 2 weeks later, we do not provide individual feedback.
I've been in business for many years, even outside of therapy, and that just doesn't sit well with me. It's almost, we have a term outside of therapy. Like I said, I spent many, many years with IBM. We would call that business rude. The attitude is just business rude, and we were never allowed to be business rude, right? Ever. We had a lot of etiquette classes taught to us when we were at IBM, and a lot of them had to do with, touching cultural diversity, because they're very international, obviously, right? And I just like, wow, this is coming from the world of therapy, but yeah.
Irina, I wonder, have you scheduled an interview session with Career Services? Apparently you can do prep sessions with them and they can give you feedback. I didn't try that route.
I did, and they never responded to me.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
I scheduled it like maybe 2-3 months ago, and they sent me that your ticket is open, but then no one ever contacted me, and I just
my goodness,
gave it up.
Wow.
With your expertise, you're intimidated. Anyway, next, I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Catherine?
I was just going to say, I've inquired with career services just for them to look at my resume and stuff, which is not having a practice interview, but they are quite behind in what they're doing. Not saying that feels any better, but there's a place in your ticket where you can kind of like inquire again or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Or like follow up or do something. Maybe that could help.
Or maybe these peer groups could help. Yeah. I know it's a very vulnerable feeling saying, can someone go through my resume? Because it's like going through your personal background, right? That's how I feel, right? There's the persona we put out on our websites, and there's the personas we put out in our bios and on LinkedIn. But the resume is it's more personal, right? It's a lot more personal, and yeah.
I have to
But,
say, Irina, I'm in the same boat as you. Like I'm at the beginning of trying to find a practicum, and I find the whole process is extremely anxiety ridden. And hearing a lot of what you said tonight, which I've done a lot of research, it felt like anyway, and I have not come across a lot of the info that you guys shared. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. But it does feel discouraging at times too. And yeah.
Yeah. A lot of these things, today or in this phase, it's the find the practicum, it's move into the practicum. I'm hoping that those just in year 1 or year 2 are now going to approach with caution and strategy, knowing what you've heard tonight. But there's going to be so many more challenges ahead. I remember it because it was so visceral with me when I was finding the practicum. And then one day I found the right person. Everything just felt right. Everything fell into line, right? I have a doggedness to me, though, that doesn't quit. And the harder you make me, the harder I work. So we go in there, but networking is very, very, very important. It's a two-phase networking. It's networking within groups like this, and it's networking with the industry out there, right? And having these really down-to-earth conversations and being able to say, yeah, I've seen it all. I came across that. I learned something tonight. I had no idea that this charging $4,000 was a thing, and then we'll handle the rest, but you got to buy your own supervision. I'm like, wow. To me, I'm like, well, welcome to, the 21st, 22nd century. But the anxiety part of it is a very good topic, because sometimes you just have to sort of sit back and learn to be able to be comfortable with that anxiety, but not give it more than it deserves, if you understand what I'm saying, right? Because someday you're going to have a beautiful private practice. You're going to be in there. You're going to have a reputation. You're going to be in your groove. It's going to be perfect. The money is going to be flowing in. The job satisfaction. Your vibes are going to be high. You're going to be, doing your thing. And then somebody's going to drop a lawsuit on you. To not have anxiety for that is not right, right? It's kind of like grieving. I mean, how can you not grieve somebody that you loved for many, many years? Well, how can you not have anxiety when somebody drops a big bomb like that on you, right? When you're trying to work through something and you don't have clarity to it. Wow. You want to drop something into the unknown. The first thing we do is we just let that anxiety start to linger in our bodies, right? And it's very distressing. So what you have to do is learn to live with that anxiety. Detox from it, because what you've done is you've dropped a cortisol bomb, right? And when your cortisol your amygdala, it's like, "Wah." So what you want to do is get your executive functioning back. You want to detox that amygdala. So now what you got to do is you got to say, it's okay, because when I do find what I'm looking for, it's going to be the right one. Right? And you got to be open and you've got to be flexible. Yeah. Here I am, a doctoral student, without naming names. You may come across her. She had the worst experience ever as a practicum, and she's still, you can tell in the posts, she's still angry. She is still pissed. And this was like a quarter of a century ago, but you can tell she still holds that anger. And I was reading this one day going, that's such contrast to what I experienced, right? But I was a latecomer inner, so I can relate to what was said here tonight by Irina and Hillary and yourself, Catherine. It's like, for the longest time it looked pretty bleak until I connected, and I'm trying what it was that made me connect, and I think it had a lot to do with. Oh, somebody else was trying to come in and I missed it. Flashed. So it was, when it came together, it was like, okay, that's done. And it's almost like I didn't have any anxiety at all. And I thought, where did that come from? Have you ever experienced that?
It almost feels like the clearer you are on what you're expecting to get, or like what you really after. And my counselor has said this many times. She's like, the right one will align. Like,
yeah,
you know enough about you, about the experience you want to get, it'll come. And I'm like,
it is, and that's an ancient hypnotic secret, right? Is picking up on that synergy from the other person. But in therapy and psychotherapy, we call it transference, countertransference, right? Everybody says, oh, transference and countertransference is bad. It's bad with your client, but it's really, really good when you're trying to find a practicum and you're trying to convince somebody that this is what you want to do and you're the one that's going to do it for them, right?
thank you.
There's a term for it in Japan, and they have no English term for it. And it's almost akin to a one-word description for reading each other's minds, the vibes.
Telepathy.
Ah, she knows it.
What is it?
Telepathy.
It's and the Japanese have a word for it that it is. It's very telepathic. Yeah.
Mhm.
And we look for it in absolutely everything we do in our clients when we do hypnotherapy. We're looking for that depth, right? We're looking for that focus. And reading what it is exactly what she says, telepathy. And that would be a really interesting way to reflect on it. It's like, in business, we call it that, but when we're with our clients, it's like, oh, be careful, there's transference and countertransference. Well, you know what? It can be a tool if it's used right. And with a little bit of help with your friends. I made some notes, and if I hear anything, and I'll definitely be sure you let everybody know that you're looking, particularly in the practicum forum, in the supervisory forum, get your name out there. There's a whole bunch of brand new supervisors graduating in 5 weeks. They're in as big a panic to get practicum students as you are to get a placement.
Fair enough.
In right now. Yeah. So it's been fun and it's been lovely. And for those that joined later, I had to explain to you that just when I brought this forth for my Monday night, I was in the process of removing it from my therapy schedule, and somebody booked the next 5 weeks at 6 o'clock. So I know, isn't that how it goes? that spot has remained empty forever and a day. And just as I was ready to remove it, somebody went, it went in there. So anyway, it doesn't end here. If you have any questions, just send me an email. I've got a little IOU all a note. That's a new thing, an IOU all. And it has to do with getting you the CEC forms, because I know it can be really slow if you're waiting for some, maybe they didn't do it, right? So you can always chase that down with that CEC form, and I owe you an invitation if you are feeling you want to share it and you want to meet some people who are in practice right now, who are looking at practicum students. Go to the CCPA supervisory forum, and while you're there, also post in the other one as well. And make yourself known, because it's part of the business plan for people who are moving into private practice, right? To pick up practicum students. Yeah. So that's good. Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for coming. You're welcome next Monday. If you want to bring some more really hard questions, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
It's nice to
Thanks,
meet you.
guys.
It was lovely. And
Thank you all.
continue the dialogue inside, okay? All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Irina, oh, she's gone.